Hello, it's Sunday the 8th of April, and in this video I'm going to look at the latest EuroMillions result and try and see if I can find possible reasons why these numbers came out, and if so then I can predict possibly what numbers are going to come out next. So let's start by putting these numbers in at the top so that we can see where they are or where they were on this chart. Okay, so that's where they are now, all at the bottom, because they've all just dropped down in the last draw, and the last draw was 1100, so the one before that was 1099, and on the chart for that draw 1099, that's where these numbers were before they were drawn, so that's where they dropped from, these positions on the chart, and that's where the rest of the numbers were on the chart as well. Now, to see the star numbers, we can only go back as far as when they went up to 12. So that's the star numbers on the right. The numbers that were drawn were 4 and 8, and that's where they were. So you can see they're towards the more frequent end of the chart. So we've got 4 and 8, second and third most frequent on that chart. And when we're looking at more recent history, and we're looking at the main numbers side, you can see that's where the winning numbers were. So they weren't particularly outstanding. Now this is a chart, these charts are just for machine 1, the machine that was used in the last draw. Now if we look at all machines, then we see that number 1 was most overdue, which is strange, and number 4 on the star numbers side, most overdue. But that's only when we include all machines, which is kind of strange because it should be more relevant to look at just the machine that was actually used rather than machines that weren't used. But there is a type of kind of resonance between the different machines that makes them affect each other in strange, chaotic kind of ways, because obviously when the same set of balls is used in a different machine, then it's going to affect the outcome. Now I believe the set of balls that was used was number 5. Now when we look at all machines and set of balls number 5, you can see when we're looking at recent history, since the number of star numbers went up to 12, star number 4 is now the most frequent, which is interesting. So before, when we looked at it for the machine, it was for all machines and all sets of balls it was most overdue, but when we're just looking at a set of balls 5, it's most frequent. So 2 reasons now why star number 4 was drawn. And you can see number 1, which was most overdue for all machines and sets of balls in recent history, still on the edge of the chart. But now what's interesting is 29 and 47, both on the edge of the chart, both of them equally most overdue for the frequencies. Both seem to be, in other words, the same distance from that top right corner, and they're both closest to it. And then after those you've got number 1, and let's see where the other winning numbers were. So when we look at it like this, you can see reasons now why 47, 29, number 1 and number 4 came out. So I've got reasons for those numbers now. Now if we narrow it down even further to machine 1, set of balls 5, now number 8's most frequent star number as well, on this very small chart. Let me just zoom in. So now we're getting reasons why 4 and 8, so you can see that's why they come out. We've narrowed it down as far as we can go, but we can still look at full draw and stuff. Yeah, and also when we're looking at a chart for machine 1, set of balls 5, numbers that have coincided with star number 4, you can see number 8 most frequent and also most overdue out of those most frequent, so it's like most overdue for its frequency. So definitely a reason why number 8 come out with number 4 on there. So that explains most of the numbers up to now so far. So let's just ignore the star numbers and focus on the main numbers, and we'll go to the full draw history. This chart don't seem to be big enough for some reason. Should be more on it than that. Machine 1, set of balls 5, and that's all we've got. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Okay, we're just looking at machine 1. I've already seen this chart. Okay, let's just look at all machines but just set of balls 5. Right, I've already seen that one. Okay, let's just look at numbers that have occurred with number 1. And we've still got to find reasons why 33 and 45 came out. So there's 45, there's 33, not particularly outstanding with number 1. Okay, what about 29? There they are on that one. 47. So I don't really know what's going on with those. So anyway, you can see possible reasons why these numbers came out. Most of them anyway. Okay, so now let me just tell you when number 16 came out in, I think it was draw 1099, was it? Let's have a look. Where's 16? Yes, it was that one. I predicted number 16 was going to come out, and I've been using my little strategy for one number where basically put one line on for 6 draws to try and make a profit, and then if it don't come out, then it's go up to 2 lines until you're up to 9 draws to try and make a profit. And basically I was still in the within 6 draws. I put one line on number 16. It came out, I think by this point I probably put it on maybe 2 or 3 times, and I made a small profit just on number 16 following that strategy. So it does work. But since then I've put a few more hot picks on and I haven't won anything, so pretty much broke even. But anyway, this is what the main number chart looks like at the moment. So you can see all the numbers here. Got the slowest end 46, not worth bothering with, it's very slow. 50 most frequent, right over on the right side. Most overdue for its frequency is number 30. Most overdue is 42, and it's on the more frequent side of the chart, so 42 is a very good choice, so is number 30. So I'll just make a note of those. So when the numbers are most overdue, it's a mathematical reason why they're more likely to come out. When they're more frequent, it's more of an engineering reason. But what we have to do is take into account the individual machine that's going to be used in the next draw, which is most likely to be machine number 1. And when we look at this chart, now you can see number 18 is the most overdue. So let's choose number 18. And again, number 50 most frequent. So let's just make a note of that one. And if we narrow it down to set of balls 5 as well, because they seem to use the same machine and set of balls for a whole month when they change like that. So now it's a very small chart, but if we look at all machines and just set of balls number 5, then it looks like this. So we've got 30 on the edge of the chart again, which is a good choice. 18 on the edge of the chart again. 50 not so much, 42 not so much, but definitely 18 and 30 still on the edge. And so I've got 26 most overdue, and it's still one of the most overdue when we're looking at just machine 1 as well. So I think 26 probably a best choice for that. Now let's look at the star numbers. Now machine 1, set of balls 5, this is the star numbers. So we've got 4 and 8 most frequent, 10, 11 most overdue, 1 most overdue for its frequency. Now if we look at all machines and sets of balls, you can see number 3 closest to top right, number 9 most frequent, also number 3 is most overdue. So number 3 is kind of in the middle, and we're just looking at machine number 1. And when we look at set of balls 5, it's most overdue for its frequency. So I think number 3 probably best choice out of those. And to go with number 3, this is a chart for numbers with number 3. Set of balls 5, looks like number 9 probably best choice. If we narrow it down to machine number 1 as well, maybe number 12. When we're looking at machine 1 though, number 9 again. So I'm guessing probably number 9. Best one to go with number 3. And it's also most frequent on this chart. Not so outstanding on this chart though, it's just down there. But anyway, I think number 9. So that's probably a good choice of numbers for the next draw. So good luck with that. Anyway, that's going to conclude this video. So goodbye for now, good luck in the next draw, see you next time, subscribe for the next video. Bye.